Good morning, everybody. How are you doing? Happy Friday the 10th. How is it going? What's going on? Why do I seem like I'm far away? I don't know. Anyway, how are you all doing? Today is Freaky News Friday, of course, on April 10th, 2020. Hope all is well. I can't say, are you ready for the weekend? Because we're always ready for the weekend now. We're always stuck inside. Hold on one sec. I want to switch these. There we go. Yeah, beautiful. What is going on here? There we go. There we go. That's a little bit better. Anyway, how was your week? Hopefully it was okay. Nobody killed anybody being stuck inside. There we go. That feels a little bit better. Anyway, hope all is well. So let's go ahead and get started. Today we're going to talk about today's Freaky News Friday. Some weird stuff going on in the world. Let's see what's going on. So, somebody apparently asked the question, do half zombie human hybrids exist? And according to Mystic Investigations, they do. They say, yes, demi-zombies, aka human zombie hybrids, do exist. There are a handful of anecdotes found in ancient scrolls, a part of the private collections of secret societies. However, the only knowing living case and verified demi-zombie is our resident cryptozoologist, Dr. Ashley Abercrombie. It seems that half zombie will form if a father who just acquired the zombie virus impregnates a human mother on just the right moment in the progression of the zombified disease. Then somehow a human-looking hybrid is born, drawing upon many of the positive aspects of the rotting living dead zombie's DNA. If not for the properties of the rotting corpse, a zombie could potentially be a powerful immortal being, minus the mindless, instinctual rampage for human flesh. In the case of our Ashley, she is extremely intelligent and has minimal cannibalistic cravings, which she has quelled through mystic hypnotic sessions. Her limited predecessors mentioned in ancient documents tend to be as far less intelligent and rather unpredictable. At least two were used as vicious personal enforcers by various ruthless royal families. Ashley also has enhanced physical abilities, including strength, speed, and agility, along with being able to stop her heartbeat and lung functions for extended periods of time to simulate deaths. She has also been seemingly killed and always self-resurrects zombie style. Unfortunately, her weakness seems to be below average healing of the wounds. Hey, Dr. Meep, what's up? How you doing? That's right, hand sanitizer. You know it. So despite surviving gunshots, she would be faced with horrific wounds for months. Thankfully, the healing is accelerated through the powers of magic provided by our resident wild witch, Rebecca Amenethy. Sorry if I butchered that name. Along with Ashley's various paranormal cryptozoology medicines. Ashley also appears to age normally, but we believe she may live well into her hundreds and will not die from a traditional manner. She theorizes that her body will instead begin to rot at some point until there's nothing left of her. It's beautiful, beautiful. I don't know if I'd want to live in as a human zombie hybrid. I don't think it's my cup of tea. I don't. The supernatural zombie virus is within Ashley's DNA, yet it somehow kept its balance over human side and does not progress into full-blown zombification. This means there is hope in their creation. Hey Claire, how you doing? Welcome, welcome. This means there is hope in the creation of a vaccine for all forms of the zombie virus within her blood, which she is constantly studying. Although various laboratory attempts by private and government organizations to create a human zombie hybrid have thus far failed, along with any reliable vaccine. Excuse me. Naturally, various forces of evil who utilize zombies as their markers of mayhem don't want to see a zombie virus vaccine or any cure for the flesh-eating living dead virus. Today is Freaky News Friday. I bring you the freaky weird news of the intranet for the week. Right now we're talking about apparently there's some belief that there are zombie human hybrids. Well, at least one that we know of, who that they're talking about. Let us hope that the accidental creation of the first known zombie in 4129 BC and the subsequent thousands of infected killers and their victims can someday be a hellish history that can be forgotten forever. No longer will the spectators of the zombie apocalypse hang over our heads with the potential to destroy humanity all over the earth. And again, that comes from Mystic Investigations. So apparently to them, there is one zombie out there. But she's a good zombie. She's trying to figure out everything, why she became that way. So we got, let me go ahead and share the screen. Let's see here. This comes from Phantom and Monsters. Apparently, an unknown biped negative energy lurks in Fredericksburg, Virginia woods. A Virginia resident is told by his medium mother in Ohio that a negative energy inhabits the woods behind the girlfriend's house. He later detects the presence of an unknown biped. So I don't have to stop and explain later. First, I need to say that my mother is a medium. She can see ghosts, shadow people, and entities from other places. I don't have her abilities, but she is able to feel things through me no matter how far apart we are, which is understandable. It's mother's intuition. Even if you're not a medium, sometimes you can do that. For fun, I used to hold a key or ring of a coworker, and she would do a reading that way while I was at work. And the info she got made many of them cry. So with that in mind, back in 2012, I was living in Virginia. She was in Ohio. A girl I was dating lived in a small home along Popular Road in Fredericksburg, Virginia. She was a ways out, surrounded by woods. For weeks, she had been telling me she had been having bad feelings about the property and consistently feeling like she was being watched. One night, while we were walking about, I decided to call my mom and get her opinion. Mom said she could feel something negative, but it was trying to hide from her. It was not far behind the girl's home. Not sure what I was thinking, but I decided to go out back and see if I could see anything or get closer, and maybe she could get a better read. I remember this night was dark with no moon. I was on the phone, and my girlfriend was using her phone light to guide us. About 30 yards into the woods, my mom suddenly told us to stop and back up. The entity was right in front of us, and it was pure evil. I didn't see anything, but I did as she asked. She went on to say that whatever it was had been in the area a very long time, and people do rituals in the woods nearby that give this being power. And sadly, there would be nothing more anyone could do to chase it off. She advised the girl to move and try not to think about the being, or it may follow her in a bad way. Hey, diary, what's going on? How are you this morning? I waited to share what I needed to share with you till you came in. And how one thing leads to another, I swear. This is how it went for me, but I'll let you know. Give me 1 second to get through the story. A few hours later, I stepped out of the front door and took 2 steps to the left and was startled by something jumping upward behind a bush, maybe 3 feet away. It was pitch black and I couldn't see anything, but whatever it was took off running into the woods going north. It was clearly a 2-legged creature, and it began late fall. I could hear the steps of the dry leaves quickly disappearing. Okay. All right, thanks, diary. I appreciate it. The terror that hit me, all I could do was stand there. It was clearly, like I said, it was clearly a 2-legged creature, and in late fall, I could hear the dry steps of the leaves quickly disappearing. It was zigzagging through the trees at a rate that seemed impossible due to the darkness and number of trees it had run through. The terror that hit me, all I could do was stand there. It seemed to navigate through the dark and trees faster than I could have run down a straight roadway. Looking back, if I had to guess, I think it may have been a dogman based on the speed and the lightness of the steps. It definitely didn't sound like an 800-pound Bigfoot. I think about that night still because I just don't know what it was. And could it have been working alongside the evil entity? Strange coincidence to have both these events in one night. Maybe not a great story, but one that I'll never forget. So I haven't researched dogmen in a long time, really. So do we think that dogmen are like hellhounds? You know what I mean? Like, are dogmen a type of hellhound? Only bipedal, like up on their feet, on their hind legs, can walk in that? You know what I mean? That's just been my understand of it. Like any of the dogmen stories that I've heard, it's always like this wolf, like a werewolf, you know, but it's a dog, a bigger breed of dog. Yeah, I haven't studied it enough, like, you know what I mean, to really. It's been a long time since I knew it was popping a couple months ago. They were popping up in like Minnesota and Wisconsin area, a lot. But yeah, that's what I'm starting to do. I mean, because everybody that talks about dogman say it all has an evil feel to it. So, I mean, I don't know. It's crazy. So, are you ready? Are you ready to hear what's going on? First of all, Diary, I want to ask you a question, or anybody who's in here, by the way, can answer it too. With this whole situation with the virus going on, do you think the veil is thinning? Like, are people having more experiences? I mean, I haven't seen like, yeah, exactly. Exactly, Ron. Welcome. Have you guys heard of any like more, like the veil, like having more hauntings or anything like that with this virus going on? And I'll explain why I'm asking this. Like here in the hotel, I mean, obviously you all know, you know, I've talked about it before that we have some goings on here. But it doesn't seem like the activity has been more. Yeah, I feel that too, Ron. I feel that too. I don't think that like there's been more activity. But stranger things are happening, if that makes sense. Just stranger things. Like, it's getting more prominent, if that makes sense. And I'll explain. Okay, so apparently the other day when I was live, Eddie was sitting in the chair. And I'll have to put pictures like up on my Facebook or something to show you guys what I'm talking about. So his chair sits across basically from the TV. And right next to the TV, there's a short wall. Okay, that kind of, it's supposed to separate the living room from the kitchen. Matter of fact, on one of my old videos, the way I'm shooting, you can see the little wall thing. So he said he was sitting there, and he goes, "I shit you not, Missy." He goes, "It looked like a hand came out from the wall and then quickly darted back in." He said it didn't look like it was an adult hand, but yet a little bit smaller, so it could have been like a teenager. He goes, two things he thought of. Like somebody had opened up a portal, and you know how you stick your hand in and you're like, "Ooh, that feels weird." You know what I mean? Kind of like that. Or a kid reaching for like the cupboard where our snacks are and was like, "Ooh, I got busted." So it's like more prominent, if that makes sense. What do you guys feel about that? There was something else that happened too, and I can't remember for the life of me what the hell was. I don't know. I don't know. All right, so Miss Diary, are you in here? Are you ready? Ron's getting all my points. So, you know how I talk about all the time, and it's so weird how this portrayed out, right? So you know how I talk? Okay, thank you. I can't push up my pain. What do you mean, Ron? Are you in more pain? I know I'm in more pain, like for the last week. I mean, it could be the weather changing too, but like my joints are and my back are killing me lately. Like to go downstairs to smoke, I hate it because I got to go down the stairs and my knees are like, I don't think so. Either that or it's just because I'm not moving around from not working and I'm just getting fatter and my joints are like, hey, bitch. It could be that too. Hey, Shrimp Shack, how are you? Welcome, welcome. What's going on? How are you guys doing? Well, that's good. So, this whole thing, okay, you know how I feel about the whole fake alien invasion thing, right? Right, Ron? Yeah, I've noticed that too. Like my headaches, like last night. Usually, if I go to sleep, I can let them go without taking medicine because I don't like taking medicine. But they're getting harder and harder. Thank you, diary. So you know how I feel about this fake alien invasion that we're supposed to have, right? And how I feel like the government is desensitizing us, um, in some way, right? And since the whole ATIB came out, the Air Force, um, I thought it was really weird because you know how I said I've talked about how I know Shrimp Sack. I don't know why YouTube changed that up. That is so stupid that you can't click on anybody. It's so stupid to me. But how I said to Tom DeLonge and to the Space Academy or to the Stars Academy and Luis Elizondo were kind of, I mean, Luis Elizondo, his job in the government was to spread false news around. So people didn't, you know. Right, Ron. Well, that's what's supposed to happen. Now, what's supposed to happen is the government is going to do a fake alien invasion, and then the good guys are going to, the good aliens, I guess, are going to come in, and we're all going to be, they want us to go against them, if that makes sense. Yeah, it is crazy, Diary. So, To the Stars Academy is run by Tom DeLonge, who is the lead singer of Blink 182, or was the lead singer of Blink 182, right? Luis Elizondo, if you don't know, he used to work in the government in a black, what are they called? Black ops? No, not black ops. But anyway, a black government society anyway, that nobody knew about. Hey, Zelda. How are you? Yeah, exactly, Ron. They want us to be scared, right? So Elizondo's job was to, put false information out there. And the thing of it is this is what was tweeted. Tom DeLonge tweeted this on March 29th or March 19th. I'm sorry. Let me go ahead and share this so you guys can see what the hell I'm talking about. He sat there and tweeted, if every country gave up their military and there was one military run by the UN for the worldwide security, we would save $1 trillion a year for medicine, infrastructure, global education, and cooperation and beginning of the one world / one system. Wouldn't you love a larger family? I am doing well. Thank you so much, Zelda. What kind of tweet is that? Seriously. It kind of makes me think, like, hey, this guy, he's pushing for that one, then New World Order type thing. You know what I mean? So right after that, on April 1st, the CIA tweeted this. This is the actual, right? I hear you, Ron. Same here. The CIA tweeted, CIA never shies away from a challenge, even when they seem otherworldly. Stay home and learn more about CIA's investigations into the UFOs. What is going on? What is going on? To me, my take is they're desensitizing us. They're desensitizing us and that I'm telling you, that's just my yeah. Right, Zelda? Exactly, Ron. Misinformation. So I clicked on it. I clicked on the little link there. And it's just telling you basically like how to go about. Oh, let me scroll up. And this is the CIA website. You know what I mean? This is CIA.gov. How to investigate a flying saucer. Make sure you have, let's see, some of the tips. 10 tips when investigating a flying saucer. Establish a group to investigate and evaluate sightings. Now, back in the day, when this first was going on, They were telling people they were crazy for seeing. Now you're telling them how to investigate? You see, this is why, and you guys know, if you've been around my channel a long time, this is what gets my goat so bad, because there's so many people, and I'll say it again, their life has been destroyed because they talked about seeing something in the sky, and people labeled them as crazy. The government would put them in housing, you know what I mean, in facilities, because they were crazy. Exactly. 10 years ago said you were crazy, institutionalize them. Exactly. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Now they got this website going on where they're talking about how to investigate UFOs. Number 2, determine the objectives of your investigation. And I'll put the link in the chat so you guys can read it if you would like to. Well, paste. Thank you. Okay, I was going to say, I didn't see it. Number 3, consult with the experts. Now, who are the experts? It says throughout the 1950s and 60s, various project panels and other studies were led or sponsored by the U.S. government to research the UFO phenomenon. This included the CIA-sponsored 1953 Scientific Advisory Panel on Unidentified Flying Objects. Project Blue Book also frequently consulted with outside experts. So, but it doesn't tell you who the experts are now. Carl Sagan, they're talking about. Astrophysicists, federal aviation officials, pilots. But the pilots were nuts too. If you were in the Air Force and you said you saw a flying saucer, you'd be in the brig. NASA, Kodak for photo analysis, various laboratories for physical specimens. I mean, come on. Exactly, Ron. Exactly. Right? Number 4, create a reporting system to organize incoming cases. They have that. It's called MUFON. But yet, nobody ever mentions the MUFON when it comes to the CIA. At least I haven't seen anything. I mean, they could have, but I haven't seen anything. Number 5, eliminate false positives. Number 6, develop methodology to identify common aircraft and other aerial phenomena, often mistaken for UFOs. I mean, good pointers. They're good pointers, I'm not going to lie. Examine witness documentation. Yep, exactly. Or you lose your licenses. Exactly. Look at what's his name there? They had his own show there that investigated. He was a cop and he got fired. I don't know if he got fired or he got let go or something. Anyway, because he talked about seeing a UFO. Yep, exactly, Ron. Examine witness documentation. Number 8, conduct controlled experiments. Conduct controlled experiments. As suggested by the Robertson panel, for investigating the Tremonton, Utah sighting mentioned in tip number 7, controlled experiments might be required to try and replicate the unknown phenomena. Of course, yeah. Pillow balloons, definitely. I mean, they're all good pointers, but why the frick is the CIA telling you this? To me, it's a little wonky. Number 9, gather and test physical and forensic evidence. Soil analysis, radiation's normal, if they're normal. Laboratory analysis. Number 10, discourage false reporting. So, I mean, what do you guys think? I mean, to me, it's just very freaking odd. The next thing is that they show is that take a peek into our expo. Do you still want to believe? Take a peek into our X-Files. Yep, exactly. Exactly, Ron. As soon as this comes up, again, from the CIA. And now it's screwing up. They know I'm talking about them, see? Okay. The CIA declassified hundreds of documents in 1978 detailing the agency's investigations into unidentified flying objects. The documents dated primarily from the late 1940s and the 50s. So these are all the, and I'll put this in chat too, these are all the supposedly documents. Well, at least the top 5 CAI documents Mulder would love to get his hands on. And they're making a joke of it. Right, Ron. Yes, a bit of true information with the misinformation. Exactly. And then top 5 CIA documents Scully would love to get her hands on. So, I mean, it's just crazy, right? So I'm looking into all this. And this is where you come in, Diary. I'm looking into all of this. And I'm just researching different things, for today's stream, obviously. And I come across this. Now, I know it's different from what you saw, but you're the only other person that I've ever heard talk about this. So it was so weird, right? So this happened in June of 2009. And like I said, it's different, but it made me think of you and your experience. Hey, Eli, how you doing? And it's weird that I was, looking into the files of the CIA and freaking about UFOs and stuff like that. And this came up. So I wanted to tell these 3 stories so here they are. I will tell them in order so as to keep a continually between the stories. The first incident happened about 3 weeks ago. Remember, this is in June of 2009. The whole family was asleep, and my son and his cousins had fallen asleep in the bedroom while playing the GameCube. I fell asleep in the living room on the floor. I remember waking up and being fully awake. I could not see the clocks, so I did not know the time, but it was late at night and past 1 a.m. because I had fallen asleep at about the time after checking on the kids. Exactly, Ron. Yeah, But yet that was told it didn't happen, right? We were all told that didn't happen. That they were lying. The people that told about it was lying. So anyway, I was fully awake and noticed that a light was coming in from the kitchen window. I didn't think anything was amiss at first until I realized the light was becoming brighter and it was an intense shade of blue. It was then a spinning pyramid shape entered through the window. It passed right through the window. It was spinning very fast and was about the size of a Rubik's Cube that I'm sure we have all played at one time. I know it was blue and it was also emitting a blue light, but I remember I could not see the light emanating from the pyramid, but it seemed to be the source of like looking at the light from a flashlight, but the light is coming from the outside of the flashlight. It was really strange. I started to feel afraid, especially for the children, when in my head I heard, "Do not be afraid, we will not harm you or your house." I was no longer afraid, but I could not move. I don't know if from shock or something was stopping me, but I did not move. Do I have information? Hey, Lunar, on the meeting? Or on the meeting, I mean, not my meeting. Sorry. Hey, Andy, how you doing? Welcome. I thought it was just weird that this guy saw a pyramid flying in the air. Do you know what I mean? But then after I said spinning, I don't know, he explains a little bit more. It reminds me of Makerba. The pyramid then went slowly past the doorway into the bedroom where the boys were, and I could see and I could not see it, but I could see the blue light. Then after what seemed to be only a few seconds, it came back into the doorway and into my field of view and went out the window again. I could see the light fading from the window, and it was moving away and up. It seemed to gather my senses back and leaped up from the floor and bolted on the bedroom. I made sure that they were all breathing and sleeping. Everything was fine, so I ran back into the window hoping to get a glimpse of this thing again, but it was gone. I then went back into my bed on the floor and laid down and fell asleep so fast, I'm sure I broke some sort of record. I did not even dream anymore that night. I guess I just soaked up the experience into my brain. I do remember vividly that now I looked at the pyramid, it was spinning and bobbing, and it looked like the Star of David, if you could believe that. See, that's what made me think it was a Merkaba. But it reminded me of you, and it was so weird that I was looking into this UFO and the CIA shit, and this pops up out of nowhere. It's like, what? And it had to do with a pyramid, and I was like, oh, really, Andy? Oh, my goodness. You got to watch out for her, man. I'm telling you. That's so funny. The next story happened about a week later after the floating pyramid, Star of David incident. The family had just fallen asleep, and I had made a bed on the floor in the living room to watch TV again, and I fell asleep. I again woke up late at night to see that the outside light was on. I was wide awake again and noted this, as it was weird for me to be fully awake when I first get up. I'm usually groggy, but again, I was wide awake. I looked at the front door, which was about 5 feet away, and I could see the outside light on. And for whatever reason, I looked at the light switch. It switched off right as I looked at it. The damn thing just moved to the off position. I had to do a double take and make sure I had just seen what I thought. And I'd seen whenever I heard what I thought, and I had seen when I heard a voice. The voice was beautiful and sounded like a whale song, but not that singing song, if that's a phrase. I remember I did not understand what it said, but I do remember answering the voice. I said, okay, I am sleepy, and then fell face first into the pillow and was sleeping again. So fast, I must have broken some kind of record. I remember everything, though. In the last part of the story, that's true, Ron. I'll bring that up. After I read the rest of this, I'll bring that up. Is there a certain link you want me to look at? Or, I'll definitely bring it up. The last part of the story so far, barring anything new happening, was just as strange as the first two, just not so dramatic. This occurred about 1 week after the voice incident. I had been doing some research on the internet and just happened to think about the riddle of the Sphinx. I went looking for some data and papers on the net to inform myself about it. I say this only because it was relevant to what had happened later. It was about 3 days later. I was taking a smoke break at work. It was the last break of the day, and I was tired and looking forward to going home. I then heard a voice in my head, but it was more like it was instructions and not physical. I guess I just do not take it justice. Long story short, this information floods into my head, and it said to me, the riddle of Sphinx is the mystery of iniquity. I know I said that wrong. Where that came from, I do not know. But what happened next, I was told what the mystery of iniquity was, and that someday I would stand before or with someone and they would ask me that question, and I was to give them the answer. I was told nothing more, nothing less. Then I was told to tell no one else the answer. Now, far be it from me to ignore bodiless voices and flying, rotating blue pyramids, so I have not told anyone what was told to me. Now, I'm not special, or nor do I want attention, but this has been really strange. I used to be Christian and believe that Jesus was the Messiah. I no longer hold that to be true. I do believe in that Jewish people are correct. Messiah is yet to come. I think that was supposed to be the Messiah, but is yet to come. The temple rebuilt, and Jesus was a deception, a darn good one too. A few weeks after flying spinning pyramid incident, something caught my eye in the window where it came in. I noticed that the window was deformed, for lack of better terms at the moment. The first 3 photos show the window, and you can barely make out the pyramid-shaped indentations where it left its mark. The last 3 photos are from an idea I had on giving it background, roughly the same color, using a shirt of mine. The effect was rather weird. Take a look. Now, I looked at these. I didn't blow them up, and I will. But I don't know if I see anything. Do you guys see anything? Oh, maybe he's talking about up here? No, I don't think so. Hopefully this is looking, hold on, let me make sure it's looking right on your stream. Yeah. I'm trying to blow it up. You know how it goes with my computer. Hey, Jim, how you doing? Hey, Rainbow. Hey, John, how you guys doing? Okay, let me go back and scroll while you're looking at the pictures. Make sure I didn't miss anybody or anything. Oh, crap. It scrolled up on me. John's been lurking in my stream. Lurker. So anyway, like I said, this apparently this is where the window where the triangle came in. Now I don't. Do you guys see anything where, like he said, there's indentations, but I don't see that. But I don't know if it's the top or the bottom. I think it's the bottom. Last 3 ones. Yeah, it's the bottom one. But I don't see any indentations. I'd like to see them. Do you guys see them anywhere? Okay, now here's the images with him putting a blue shirt. Now I do see a triangle. No, it's not that one that I see it. It might be there. I mean, I do see a triangle, but it's hard to, he should have flattened out this shirt. See, like I see a triangle there. But I also see part of it there. I don't know. I don't know. So anyway, Diary, I know it wasn't as good as you probably thought it would be, but I thought it was just weird that he saw a flying pyramid. You know what I mean? And after me searching, the synchronicities, you know how I feel about that. So the next thing I have before we do the whole Eisenhower, and I will bring that up. Let me see if I can. Look, my computer's like, no, you're not. But how many times did they sit there and say that Eisenhower did not meet with aliens, but yet in the CIA records, okay, I know I'm okay with that. Yeah, that's what I saw, Diary. I saw wrinkles. That's all I don't. Yeah, I see upside down. I saw the upside down triangle. Yeah, the same thing. But I don't know. I don't know. So the next article that I had that goes along kind of with this. Let me go ahead and share this. I forget where the hell I am here. Is stating that the Russians were behind the Majestic 12 documents. Dun, dun, dun. Right, but the whole thing is, you weren't here for the first part of it, Rainbow, is the CIA's comfortable now with saying all this stuff after people have been put in institutions for saying that they were crazy because they're seeing things in the sky as UFOs. And now the CIA is like texting or, tweeting about UFOs. This shit really pisses me off. I mean, how many lives were destroyed if it comes to pass the aliens are real and the government knew about it? How many innocent people's lives were destroyed by coming forth and saying what they saw? Really, Diary? Right, Andy, definitely. Oh, I agree with that. I totally agree with that. CIA been lying and hiding truths from before they were officially created. Yeah. That's awesome, Diary. That's wild. That's really wild. So the Russians were behind the Majestic 12 documents, UFOs, and meddling. He's saying this comes from Mysterious Universe. I said in a June 16, 2017 article for Mysterious Universe titled The Majestic 12 Documents Are Back, that just like an over the hill bloated rock band that doesn't know when it's time to retire and go away forever. The notorious saga of Majestic 12 hits the road and briefly toured again in 2017. Yes, those pesky documents were back once more. Yep, exactly, Diary. Definitely. Or rather, an entirely new and controversial set of papers were among us. Thoughts on the documentation were mixed. Some researchers suggested that the whole thing was someone's idea or hoax or a satire or a psychology experiment. Sorry, apparently we're going to go down this road today. Others concluded that they were the real thing. Me, I went down the path marked disinformation. It's accurate to say that I still do. That batch of Majestic 12 files, which ran to 47 pages, were provided to Heather Wade. At the time, she was the host of the popular Midnight in the Desert show. I was on Heather's show several times, and I like her. When she said that she got the documents from what was described as a trusted source, I believed her. But as 2 years of time has shown, we've never learned who Heather's source was, and we were never told how that same source got the documents to her or from where they came from. There is no doubt, however, that these papers are not the real thing. They are from right in the heart of Russia. Let's get inside. Russia is not our friend. What about Denali? Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. Hey, I live up here in Alaska. Are you talking about Denali, Alaska? Oh, oh, that's why. Oh, okay. I totally missed that. That's funny. I totally missed it. Phew, right over the head. I don't look at the ads. I try to click out them as fast as I can. Um, I'm like, wait a minute, I live in Alaska. What's it saying about Denali? Okay, let's expand our theory on that. Leave it to me, I swear. Well, it doesn't matter anyway because Mount Denali is not Mount Denali anymore. They changed it to Mount. I almost said MacGyver, that ain't it. Um, Mount McKinley. So it's not even Denali anymore. Okay, so let's expand the theory on that. Just perhaps the Russians were behind all this. It's important to note that just because Heather Wade publicized the papers in 2017, it doesn't mean they were intended for us to psych up them in the same year. After all, the document purports to many that are 30 years old. That being so, it's the pages may have been originally planned in operation back in the 1980s or in the 90s. Are there any good reason why Russians may have been behind all this? Yes. In the document, the highly talkative survivor from the Aztec, the New Mexico UFO crash of 1948, tells us a great deal about matters related to aliens, to extraterrestrial technology, and to all kinds of matters of UFO nature. But the interview, E from the Stars, does something also, too. It provides to be quite critical of American politics and history. That's true, Andy. I try to look at everything. I feel the big items are up and shown to us to hide the small ones, like TV news. When there's a scandal, something is likely to be. Yeah, exactly. I agree with that. I agree with that. Definitely. Wholeheartedly. Yeah, cautious is a good thing. Definitely. Um, at one point, the military interviewers tells the alien sitting before him that we, the human race, have changed as a society and that Western civilization is now the leader in this world for freedom and humanity. The extraterrestrial is far from being impressed by those words. It hits back hard and directly to the point. Tell that to the millions of Hebrews your Western civilization was destroyed in the past decade, or the millions of Negro families whose sons died to stop the madman Hitler, but who do not have plumbing in their homes. It is a terrible fact that black men who fought in the Second World War were treated like second-class citizens. The Smithsonian website says there is a historical relationship between Nazism and white supremacy in the United States, yet the recent surge of explicit racism, including the attack in Charlottesville, has been greeted by many with surprise. But collective amnesia has consequences. From Americans celebrate the country's victory to World War II, but forgot that the U.S. armed forces were segregated, that the Red Cross segregated blood donors, and many Black World War II veterans returned to the country only to be denied jobs or housing. It becomes all more difficult to talk honestly with racism today. The alien also said something about the United States approach of Native Americans and other people. It offers these words from the Majestic 12 documents. Not surprising, your history show from the conquered seldom preserve any history of their victims. I speak of the natives in the landmass, those called Indians. Most of you, mostly on your eastern and southern borders and the ribbon of land that connects yours to the southern continent. Navajos, Aztec, Incas, the Olmecs, and Toltecs cultures. They were all greater than your own civilization, and in time, when you were burning witches and killing their cats, which brought a plague that killed millions of your ancestors. So apparently this alien is basically telling them, listen, you haven't changed. What the hell's wrong with you? There's still hate in the world. You know what I mean? That's my take on it anyway. Right. So basically, clearly whoever put together this particular Majestic 12 document wished to make that point. Moving on, the alien tells the interview that in a remote part of the nation you call Yugoslavia, we visited and helped the people there to build a very advanced culture overseen thousands of years ago. Just muse upon that. All of the locations on the planet that the aliens could possibly have chosen to land and help humankind, they selected that became a significant communist land, Yugoslavia. The alien also goes to state that back in 1995, creatures of this kind made contact with none other than brilliant maverick scientist Nikola Tesla, which he swears they did. That's where he got his number system from. Right, Andy? Hey, Southern Belle, how you doing, hon? Exactly, Jim. I mean either. But Tesla definitely he sat there and that's where he came across with the number system. It's a fact that Tesla, born in Croatia in 1856, and it was way ahead of his time, did indeed believe that Mars an intelligent life. The Richmond Times on January 13th, 1901 stated, there are not thousands of people living in this world today who do not believe that the planet of Mars is inhabited. There are many others who do, and some of the leaders in science and foremost men in thoughts and invention are members of this last named class. Nikola Tesla, the inventor of the wireless telegraph, is one of these. Astronomers tell us that the planet Mars is several million miles older than the Earth, and H.G. Wells, novelist, is one of his fantastic creations, has peopled this planet with a race of strange creatures. One thing, however, stands to reason, and that is this. If Mars is inhabited with those inhabitants are far in advance of us as regards to science, both theologically and applied. This is what Tesla thinks and why he is in the opinion. Let me try that again. This is what Tesla thinks and why he is in the opinion that just recently made known. He is convinced that the Martians were trying to communicate with us. And he swore that. If you go back and look at some of his, Yes, Andy, you're right. Tesla was way ahead of our time. The Alien and Majestic 12 document advises the U.S. military and the United States had utterly failed to embrace the incredible technology which Tesla had perfected, and that just might have enriched the world for each and every one of us. So true. But the creature was careful to add that the Russians had, for a number of years, been running a strong program of research that was going ahead inside the Soviet Union. In other words, the Russians were forging ahead while we were fucking up. The words of the alien are carefully created statements of the Russian operative. I'll go with the latter. Well, into my 21st century, the meddling has clearly not gone away. So what do you guys think? Do you think the Majestic 12 documents were from Russia and they were trying to put an agenda on us? But although it does go with I just lost my train of thought. It had to do with Tesla. I don't know. Yeah, Ron, I take what she says with a grain of salt. I listen to what she has to say, trying to catch what I feel is real. I mean, I think some of the stuff that she says, I would love her job. Let me put it that way. I would love her job. I would love to work for MUFON, but I can't pay the freaking prices that they want to work for them. Tesla, like Edgar Casey. I don't know about that. Oh, I know what I was going to say about Tesla. Tesla, what did Tesla want? He wanted to give us free energy. And look at that statement that came out. Where was it? Oh, the document. No, it wasn't the documentary. What was it that I was sitting there? Where supposedly the aliens wanted us to have free energy. You know what I mean? So tell me he wasn't yeah, and that's the thing about Tesla's death. I mean, yeah. Right, Ron, that's true. That's true. Linda is too chummy with Hillary and the elite. That's the thing, it's hard because you go back and forth like who's telling the truth. I don't want to look at everybody as like a liar. Do you know what I mean? But there are certain things that people say. I am a watcher. I'm a listener. That's why I lurk a lot. Not because I'm being an asshole, just because I want to figure out things for myself and how I feel about different things. Go around with your banana. That didn't sound right, but you know what I meant. Right? No worries. No worries. That's why we all come in here and talk. Right? Yeah, probably. And that's where it probably came from, Andy. That's, yep, exactly. Don't be gullible and don't be a zombie. Yeah, exactly. Really, Ron? See? I try, Rainbow. I try. Okay. Apparently, this is going to be I swear there's other things than UFO on the Week in Weird News, you know. I swear. We got the legend of the naked freezing ghost of New Orleans. That one's UFOs. That one's UFOs. An exorcist claims female demon knocked out a power for an entire block. Yeah, exactly, Diary. I believe that. No, don't do business with the Clintons. No. No. Yeah, exactly, Ron. That's what I do too, is when I read up and stuff, I sit there and think about it, how it integrates with other things that I've heard. And I kind of explained that the other day when somebody tells me something about like when I'm researching like the Incas and the Aztecs and stuff, or even Native Americans, the lore, what they could have depicted was actually something else, but I try to fit everything together. Which one, Diary? We also got uh, about chilling last calls and messages from the mysteriously vanished. So I swear, it's not all about UFOs. UK legends and lore of creatures living underground. And last but not least, a woman captures a ghostly figure on CCTV. So let's get through this alien stuff. Oh, I will definitely check that out, Andy. See, that's what I love about this too, because let me write that down because I will forget. It helps to click the pen. I will definitely check that out. See, that's why I like doing this too. Like I said, just because I learn information. That's what I do. I like talking to you guys. Hey, Michael, how you doing, hon? Welcome, welcome. Really, Andy? If any of you guys ever have experiences or anything like this, and you want me to talk about them, definitely send them to my Twitter or my Facebook or my email, whatever. It's all the links should be down in the description. If they're not, they're always on my DLive. They're always. I've seen that, Ron, but I didn't. Oh, I don't know if I saved it or not. See, I go through and I save a bunch of shit, and then I forget what I save and what I want to talk about. That's why I have my calendar back there, but half the time I don't even look at it. We'll definitely, for What If Wednesday, we'll have to do a whole thing on this. Not the Aztecs. Wow, really, Andy? Would you be willing to come up and talk about that at a later date? That's pretty cool. So now the Aboriginals came from New Zealand, right? Is that what you're talking about? Okay, because I'd love to hear about that's wild. See, that's like you had a Mandela effect in your own shit, on your own. Okay, very cool. I would definitely love to have you up and talk about that. That's so cool. The Morar, okay. Okay. See, I don't know New Zealand's timeline. Hey, Abraxas, how you doing, hon? Welcome, welcome. Hi, Missy. Or at least say hi to Missy for me. The Morari. Okay. Now, the Maori came before the Aboriginals, am I right? See, I'm like I said, I'm not too familiar with the timeline of New Zealand. Oh, okay. I have heard of them, the blonde people. Yes, I have heard of them. Okay, so yeah, it's starting to takes my brain a little bit. Gotcha. I will definitely check into that. See, I love stuff like that. I absolutely love stuff like that. That's why I love doing these lives. Hey, Lady C, how you doing? Welcome, welcome. How you doing? So, like I said, I swear to God, this isn't all about UFOs today. But it's been interesting, you know? But I got this one. Okay, there's two more things about UFO, which is that ain't it. The newly leaked documents show Pentagon program was interested in UFOs after all, which we knew that. Thank you for the subscribe. Awesome. Thank you so much. And we beamed you up. I don't even know where I got that notification from, where it sounds like a UFO, which is weird that, you know. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Oh, that sucked. In a recent article for Popular Mechanics, Tim McMillan traced a path through a I don't even know what that word is, maze of government documents and insider testimony that showed the Pentagon's Advanced Aviation Threat Identification Program, of course we all know as ATIB, was interested in studying UFOs despite the recent denials by the Pentagon. The Pentagon. Oh, shit. I just started controversy there. The Pentagon spokesperson Susan Go. According to McMillan's research, the Pentagon's denial is part of a campaign of confusion involving a dizzying shell game that's entirely consistent with how black budget intelligence programs are run. What you're dealing with was very core of government secrecy and how things they absolutely don't ever want to discuss are kept hidden away. Documents retrieved. Did I miss anything? Hold on. Okay, as long as I didn't miss anything. You guys would let me know, right? Documents retrieved from the Bigelow Aerospace Advanced System Space Studies, LLC, along with his testimony of former ATIB contractors, showed that the company was contacted by the Defense Intelligence Agency to produce technical reports on exotic and potential game-changing aerospace technologies and the manner of determining what areas these radical airborne breakthroughs might emerge was through the research of UFOs. The Pentagon sidestepped the Freedom of Information Act by outsourcing, and that's what I love too. They got by that by hiring Bigelow, because Bigelow's a private company. So we can't go in and say, under the Freedom of Information Act, you have to give us your documents. We can't do that. We can with the government. Not like they give us shit because they black everything out. I'm muted? I know. There was shadows about the Pentagon. I know. Oh no. Oh my God, I hope I don't have music on. I don't have any music on, right, guys? Not that I care, really. Honestly, I really don't care anymore when it comes to YouTube. I mean, I do, but you know what I mean. They already got me for copyright claims because of people subscribe or following me on DLive. Wow, that's weird, Andy. That's so weird. Yeah. I mean, nothing that I say is going to help him because he can't hear me. Unfortunately. I'm flashing you again. How's that? Did that stop? Or did that stop? Did that, I can talk. Did that stop? Hurry back, Eli. No worries. Usually when I click on the source that's flashing, it stops. So hopefully that stopped. Got to watch out for that flashing. Have a good day, Southern Belle. Take care, hon. Be safe. Have a good day, Abraxas. Take care, hon. Much love to you guys. Both ya. I would, Michael. Okay, so we're back. Andy, you can hear me? Yeah, I would definitely consider a reptilian an alien. But was it you, Michael, or Ron was saying that there's two types of reptilian? Yeah, interdimensional being. I think we're all connected. You know how I am. I think it's could be, there's bad humans, so why couldn't there be bad aliens? Hey, freaky geek. They're just different names. Yeah, we don't know what to call them. You know what I mean? So okay. Um so yeah, like I was saying, so they give contracts out to like people like Bigelow where we can't see the information when it comes. Um yeah, exactly, Andy. See, my feeling, I don't know if you've been in here when I said um yeah, exactly. I was did the whole KGB book on different types of aliens, which was freaking cool if you ask me. Um but I think we're all connected. Like my spirit guides are me, just a higher dimension of me. Aliens are us, just a different dimensional being of us. Same energy. You know what I mean? Could be different energy. I don't know. I just talk out of my ass half the time, I swear. No, seriously, but I have thoughts about that, definitely. If you get a friend request, let's see. Yep, I got it. Okay. Yeah, I got the one from Sage. Just about every time, Freaky Geek, when we say something freaky, you pop in. Right? Andy. I love it. Why can't I? That's weird. Oh my God, where? That's weird. Now, I can see Andy's comment. Why can't I see Andy? Andy, type again for me in YouTube. Okay, now I see you there. Why did that comment go bye-bye? Go bye-bye, because I'm like, that's so weird. Did you guys see that? Like, I saw the comment on the screen, but I didn't see it in YouTube. Like, that makes me worried because how many other. So you guys know if yeah, I see him too. I see him too now, but like one of the comments didn't show up in YouTube for me, but it showed up on the screen where where I show everybody's comments. I could see it there, but not on YouTube itself. That was so weird. So, oh, stop, Andy. Stop yourself. So if I do miss your guys' comments, please don't hold it against me. You guys know that. I hope you guys know that anyway. So let's go on to this. Okay. According to McMillan, the DIA may have extensive access to UFO materials, but because all that data technically belongs to Bigelow's company under the Economic Espionage Act of 1996, disclosing or releasing proprietary materials provided to the government in confidence is a federal crime. As a result, the Pentagon is able to maintain that ATIB did not investigate UFOs because that duty was largely outsourced to Bigelow. This makes the government denial of a technicality rather than an explanation offered in good faith. The Pentagon's narrative has long been strongly contradicted by Louis Elizondo, a former DoD intelligence officer who claims to have been the program head for ATIP and who currently serves as director of global security and special programs to the Stars Academy of Arts and Science, along with former Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid, both of whom maintain that the ATIB primary focus was to investigate UFOs. Alonso insisted that the ATIB itself spent its entire time on UFOs, while former Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid said in a statement that ATIB was my program. One can say whatever, but the truth is that it was for only one purpose, to study UFOs. This news follows the chain of information slowly released to the Stars Academy of Arts and Science and the government sources since 2017, when the news broke of the Pentagon's secret UFO project. Most recently, 5 former Navy servicemen come forward to participate in an interview with Tim McMillan for Popular Mechanics regarding the now famous Nimitz and the Tic Tac. Now, if any of you have listened to me, or not listened to me, but watched with me and Freaky Geek, the documentary I was sharing on DLive, apparently a source has said that the Nimitz and the Tic Tac are the U.S.'s UFOs. Okay. And they're desensitizing everybody because they're going to do a fake invasion. Now, don't know if this is true or not, but hey, some of the other stuff that was said in the documentary has come true. And so it's kind of, it boggles the mind a little bit. And now the people that are doing No, you watched it with me, the 1 and 2, number 1 and number 2, with what, David Skyfall says about UFOs. But so the Nimitz, I mean, and the TikTok are supposedly ours, and this is why they haven't come forth, because we do have the technology for this stuff. Um, yeah. Yes, and 2. Yes. And number 2. um, basically in the documentary, there was 3 things that we destroyed on this earth. With drilling, we broke the crust. That's why basically we are controlling the weather. It's not because for purposes other than we screwed up and our weather was basically null and void since we just, broke the crust. Um, what was the other thing? Oh, with the whole Antarctica base? No, that wasn't it. Oh, that's why we had the drilling. That's why we had Skyfall. And there was proof of Skyfall. Oh, yeah, definitely, Jim. Okay, I won't ask you. What was the other 2 things? I can't remember. But we screwed up 3 times, majorly, 3 times. And this is why, you know, this is why the aliens that have come supposedly, because they want to help us. But the government don't want that, because the aliens can give us free electricity, free, our bills would be paid basically. And does the government want that? No, hell no, they want their money, right? So that's why this whole thing is perplexing. So, a few months prior to the reportedly acquired metamaterials, 5 Navy pilots told the New York Times that identified flying objects were almost a daily occurrence, which would be true if they were testing them, right? They weren't lying. Um, so, yeah, there were 2 pilots, Lieutenant Ryan Graves and Lieutenant Danny Atcoin, agreed to go on record about their experience with both the New York Times and the History Channel's UFO docuseries Unidentified Inside America's UFO Investigation, a project created in tandem with TTSA. It's unclear at this time if the president's statement reflected. Oh, yeah. President Trump has gone on record saying he does not particularly believe that the Navy pilots are seeing UFOs. No, they're seeing. That's why. That was the other thing. They specifically, like the people in control, specifically, that's why they made Trump president, because of the fact that they want him to release that, oh, UFOs and aliens are real. So, and of course, this comes from the Singular 14. Um, Regardless, as more former and current military personnel come forward to relate their experience with UFOs, there is little doubt with the community that, if nothing else, the case been presented have merit. And that makes me think. Like Men in Black. Were they, all the stories of like Men in Black basically they were going around. I mean, they did it in a harsh manner because maybe that's their species. They don't know how to be, you got some people that they speak wrong. They don't, and it comes across very harsh. We have that in human society. Right? But what if they were like, they wanted the stuff that people saw in their evidence because they knew that it was man-made and not alien? You know what I mean? Yeah, a harsh manner or cold. We do have people like that in our society. Hey, peace, love, and hope. How are you? I'm doing good, thank you. So what if they were like going around getting out because they didn't want this? They didn't want the government tricking us. You know what I mean? So they're gathering all information that was government related, like government built ships. If that makes sense, does that make sense? I don't know if that makes sense. It gets me thinking about stuff like that, though. It's chilly here. As you can see, I'm wearing my jacket. It's chilly here, too. We had to turn the heater on, which we haven't had to do in them, even though it's been cold outside. It's been warm in the hotel. But did that make sense at all? Okay, who wants to hear some legends of freezing ghost of New Orleans? Dun dun dun. The New Orleans has been often referred to as the most haunted city in America, and especially in the French Quarter, where numerous spirits are said to frequently make their presence known. One spirit in particular is named Julie, and she is said to walk among the top of a downtown rooftop. Rumor has it that if you can look up to the rooftops of the 700 block of Royal Street, you can see Julie's ghost pacing back and forth. According to the legends, Julie fell in love with a rich Frenchman, but they were unable to get married because of their racial differences. She was 1/8 African American, and unfortunately, biracial couples were frowned upon in the 1800s. One night during a house party, the Frenchman got frustrated with Julie's constant pressure for him to marry her, so he told her that if she took her clothes off and waited for him on the rooftop, they would get married. Although he wasn't serious, or maybe he was, she proceeded to the rooftop and she wanted to prove her deep love for him. And that's the French Quarter in New Orleans. Am I sharing? I hope I'm sharing this because I'm going to look like a dumbass if I'm not. Okay, I am sharing. Since it was December, the air was quite damp and cool, while she waited all night for him to join her. When he finally realized that she had taken his joke seriously, he went to the rooftop where he noticed her frozen, naked body still holding onto the brick chimney. He apparently died shortly from a broken heart. Welcome back, Eli. Welcome back. On cold December nights, many people over the years have reported seeing Julie's ghost on the roof of the 734th Royal Street. While some see her pacing and shivering atop the rooftop completely naked, except for a pair of gold hoop earrings, others say that she is wearing a wedding dress. But they all will say that her ghost is still waiting for her love to show up while pacing along the edge of the roof, trying desperately to keep warm, until finally collapsing near the break of dawn. Julie's apparition has also been seen in the balcony and inside of the house, specifically in the former chamber where unexplained footballs just happened to appear. No, unexplained footsteps can sometimes be heard. Additionally, the ghost of a man dressed in 19th century clothing has occasionally been seen in the windows and as well as walking through the courtyard. If you're having relationship problems, you can write an issue down on a piece of paper, a piece of yellow paper. using a blue pen and place it on Julie's altar. And allegedly, she'll answer your question with some of her centuries-old love article. So who's going to test this theory out for me? Who's going to go to New Orleans, go to the 734th Royal Street, get a room? Oh, come on, Eli. Jot down on a piece of yellow paper using a blue pen your issue and see if she responds. I so would. If I had the money, I so would. Oh, Andy. Oh, my God. Thank you so much. Oh, my God. Thank you, Andy. That is so sweet of you. Oh, and he's my new boss stream. Boom, 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 boom. I don't know why I did that, but he's my new boss stream. Thank you so much, Andy. That means a lot. You are so sweet. You didn't have to do that. Is that my funds for trying to get to New Orleans to do this? Andy, I know. I've heard that. I've heard how it is sometimes. Thank you, though. That means a lot to me. It really does. So now I'm going to switch the links out for my last stream boss and put yours. So you will be advertised throughout my social medias, your channel. Dun, dun, dun. So nobody wants to go leave this? Okay, if you don't want me to, I won't. But that's what I usually do. Okay, I'll leave it. No worries. Okay, I got you, Andy. No worries. No worries whatsoever. Put lunars? I can, definitely. We can do that. So, do you guys all know the band, the Foo Fighters? I love the Foo Fighters. Dave Grohl, who's the lead singer of the Foo Fighters, reports paranormal experiences. You're very welcome. Thank you, Andy. Thank you. That means a lot. It really does. I appreciate it. Dave Grohl said I set up overnight so we could see if there was anyone there or anyone coming to fuck with us. Mind you, there's a lot of language in here. At first, nothing, and right around the time we thought we were ridiculous and we were out of our minds, we started to see things on the Nest Cam that we couldn't explain. Oh, thank you, Andy. You're so sweet. And then it goes on to say, who would fuck with Dave Grohl, founder and lead singer of the Foo Fighters, and he's the former drummer, of course, for Nirvana. Would you believe a Foo Fighter? Not a band member, but some kind of paranormal force that Grohl claims actually messed with sound equipment in studio in the house where the band was recording its latest album. A haunted house that Grohl and the band eventually discovered had a sordid past. Was this a ghost upset with the band's name or their sound? But Foo Fighters, to me, I know, peace, love, and hope. Me too. Me too. Oh, you definitely, if you're talking about me, Andy, you definitely need glasses. Foo Fighters to me were always the round ones, the round UFOs in the sky. See, I go back to UFOs. That's what Foo Fighters. When people talk about Foo Fighters, I see round orbs in the sky that were like, UFOs. But apparently the Foo Fighters are something else. When we walked into the house in Encino, I knew the vibes were definitely off, but the sound was fucking on. We started working there, and it wasn't long before things started happening. We would come back to the studio the next day, and all of our guitarists would be detuned. No problem, diary. In an interview reported by NME, Grohl describes the band's recent experience in a high-quality home studio in California. Guitars becoming detuned overnight sounds more like a string issue, maybe due to age, quality, or humidity, but Grohl says things got stranger quickly. Or the setting we would put on the board, all of them had gone back to zero. We would open up a Pro Tools session and the tracks would be missing. There were some tracks that were put on there that we didn't even put on there. But just like weird open mic noises, nobody playing an instrument or anything like that, just an open mic recording a room, electronic or computer glitches, whatever it was enough to cause Grohl to bring a Nest Cam baby monitor from home. Can you imagine having Dave Grohl for a dad? And setting up in the studio each night. What they recorded on the monitor nearly stopped the recording of the album. What was on it? Dave Grohl is no stranger to the paranormal. After the death of Kurt Cobain and a dissolution of Nirvana, Grohl recorded an album of original songs, playing all the instruments himself. Looking for band names to hide his identity, he claims he was reading a lot of UFO books at the time and liked the name of the mysterious UFOs World War II pilots would see following their planes. As Grohl puts it, there's a treasure trove of band names in those UFO books. This writer agrees, and full disclosure, is a fan of Grohl and the band. The books also influenced the name for Grohl's record label, Roswell Records, part of RCA. I never knew that. That's pretty freaking cool. Makes me love Dave Grohl even more, and the Foo Fighters. And his film company, Roswell Films. That is so cool. Yeah, those are Foo Fighters. Those are supposedly Foo Fighters. Hey, Cassie, how you doing, hon? Welcome, welcome. You were sent to Nerd? Nerd of the North? I love that guy. He's awesome. Related to food dogs? Is that a joke? I don't know what food dogs are. Hold on, I gotta see what food dogs are. Maybe. Oh no, but those are freaking cool. How do I not know about them? I mean, I've seen them, but I never knew what they were. How do I not know about that? Here I am supposed to be talking about cryptozoology and stuff like that. I don't even know what food dogs are. That's crazy. I like them though. And not to mention, I mean, are food dogs Japanese or Chinese? Not to mention, my bosses are Korean. I mean, not that we have that stuff all over here or anything like that. That's wild. I'm going to talk to my boss about that. I want to know what the food dogs are from him. All right, so World War II fighter pilots were as baffled by Foo Fighters in the air as Foo Fighters were about what they saw in that house. The fast-moving glowing orbs flew at the same speed. Oh, okay. Same speed as the planes in the European theater, leading investigators to believe they were electrical discharges from the planes itself. That doesn't explain those seen by Pacific pilots who reported the Foo Fighters often being stationary. And those pilots wouldn't have seen the alleged Nazi fireballs that were rumored to be secret, automatically guided, jet-propelled flak mines that traveled in a bomber's airstream. No cause has ever been universally agreed upon, but their sightings disturbed all pilots who claim to encounter them. Wow. All my mumbo jumbo. The anomaly is in the recording studio disturbed Dave Grohl and the Foo Fighters as well. Fortunately, or maybe not, they were told by the owner something in the house passed that would explain it all. What was that, Dave? Excuse me. I had to sign a fucking non-disclosure agreement with the landlord because he's trying to sell the place. So I can't give away what happened there in the past, but there are multiple occurrences over a short period of time made us finish the album as quickly as we could. See, now if that was New York, like when you go to sell a place, you have to let people know that it's haunted, if it's haunted. I don't know. I know different states have different disclosures, but New York, I know you have to, if your house is haunted and you're selling it, then you need to tell people it's haunted. And they could actually take you to court for that if they move in and it's haunted and you didn't disclose that. We will find out after the house. Will we find out after the house is sold? Probably. You know how bad rock stars are at keeping secrets. I thought that was cute. Right, Andy? That I don't think you can get anything for, you know. An exorcist claims female demon knocked out of power for an entire block is the next thing from Mysterious Universe. Stories of demons and strange happenings of the supernatural kind in New Orleans aren't rare. Stories of non-denominational exorcists are. Tales of demons being able to control lights in a room aren't rare. Tales of demons able to knock out power for entire city blocks are. Females claiming to be possessed by demons aren't rare. Female exorcists are. A story involving all those elements, both common and rare, are unique. This is one of them. I was sleeping and I woke up because there was an entity that was specific to the location, to New Orleans. It was something I'd never seen exactly like this before. And it was this female figure, and it opened its mouth, and it had rows and rows and rows of teeth. Yeah, that would kind of freak me out a little bit. Yeah. The thing was, at least 3 rows of sharp teeth appeared to someone who claimed to have seen her share of strange demons. Rachel R.H. Davis, whose name and story popped up in our news this week, possibly because the world is looking for something scary to distract it from the coronavirus epidemic. She appeared recently on Chris Jericho's Talk is Jericho podcast to promote her book, Sisters of the Darkness, The Chronicles of the Modern Exorcist. This particular alleged encounter with a demon is interesting for a number of reasons, starting with the fact that it occurred to Davis herself, not to someone else she was exorcising. Then there's this. It was on me, and here's where things get nuttier. Out of the side of the room, out of the darkness, comes this man, a huge man with large dark hair that was over his face. And he took this thing, put it into his hands, and walked backwards into the shadows. And it was gone. Well, that's freaking weird. A nightmare coupled with sleep paralysis. When she could move, Davis says she noticed the power was out in her room, and when she went outside for at least the entire block. Checking with the power company, Davis said she found the power went out exactly when she saw the toothy demon. Right, Freaky Geek? That's weird. And I was like, okay. And I had my significant other there, and she was like, I just saw this thing with teeth and face. It would be easy to dismiss her experience as a possible power surge, power outage, induced hallucination, except that her partner claimed to have seen it too. Is this a made-up story just to sell books or generate more exorcism business? One might suspect that, but for Davis she's already a successful screenwriter for film, television, video games, and an author of 4 horror novels under the name R.H. Davis. And when it comes to exorcism, she performs them for free. So yeah, I don't think she was in it to put the story out for money. From my experience, I believe that the entity attaches itself or burrows into a person's body and feeds off them. It lives off like a tapeworm. Ooh. It lives off their fears, depressions, anxiety, and a host of other negative energies and emotions. They may have had this entity for them for 10 years or 10 days, but it's interfering with their lives, and until it's gone, things aren't going to get better. That's when they find me. An article in Reader's Digest, Rachel Stebbins sounds like someone who could be working 24/7 these days. Although she claims she's been able to see demons since she was a child, she didn't begin performing exorcisms until she was 31, about 9 years ago. She depicts the demons that she claims are in 99% all human as energy-sucking entities rather than evil beings after one's soul. And that's what I've said a lot of the times, what I feel most hauntings are, that people claim that they have demons. You just get scared. I mean, I get that. She depicts the demons that she claims, which explains why she calls herself a non-denominational exorcist. However, that doesn't mean removing these energy demons is like letting air out of a balloon. Okay, Andy, no problem. No problem whatsoever. Definitely go support your friend. Hell yeah. That's what it's all about. Thank you so much for your donation. Thank you so much, Andy, for being here. I appreciate it. I really do. You're definitely awesome. Definitely some conversation. I thank you, Huntress. Or I'm sorry, Oracles. Oh my God. Where the hell did that come from? I'm so sorry. Oh, wow. Sure, she don't call herself that to have a mega hit. It could. You never know. You never know, Andy. That could be true. But see, if I was to go into that, I know. I mean, that just like came out of the blue too. Did you see that? I like came from nowhere. I know, bar of soap, right? Take care, Andy. Have a wonderful day, night. Have a wonderful weekend. Week after that. Thank you so much for coming in. I'm sure, Cassie, I'm sure. After having it for so long, definitely. That would be like if I, renamed myself. Yeah. If people didn't call me Shadows or Moon or, you know what I mean? I mean, obviously people call me Missy too. But I don't know what I would do. I know, that's what I said. That's what I said when I first came in. I'm like, I can't do my normal thing. Are you guys ready for the weekend? Because we've been on weekend for a long time. Take care, hon. So when a client comes over, I take them out back to my spirit house, which is where I work, even when I'm not performing exorcisms. Los Angeles is an expensive place. And for me, even more so, I didn't even scroll that. That scrolled by itself. Great. It's lovely. My work is dangerous, and I don't want to subject my pets or my home to other people's low frequencies or dark energies of entities during an exorcism. I could totally get that. So she has 2 separate entrances. She's worried about her pets getting possessed. Okay, she's in LA and she does a lot of celebrity exorcisms. So it comes with the territory. Steph is also pretty confident on her ability. See, if I did that, if I went into I'd probably be non-denominational too. Because I would work, at least the way I look at things, I would work with the person who I was doing an exorcism on, their beliefs. Do you know what I mean? It's not all about me and my beliefs. It's all about them people and their beliefs, what they believe in. So I would use that. If people believed in Jesus, I would use that. If people believed in Buddha, I mean, I don't know if I could do that with an exorcism, but if they believed in Buddha, I would use that, if that makes sense. So I could see calling yourself a non-denominational exorcist, definitely. Most last about an hour, however, and end with the glorious destruction of an entity. That's not much to create a movie plot, so Stavis may have to use her own toothy, touchy female demon story for a screenplay. She may also want to dig a little deeper into what local utility blamed the power outage on. In any case, Rachel Stavis is an interesting combination of paranormal rarities. A female, non-denominational exorcist who claims she can help everyone and doesn't ask for anything in return. To me, I mean, that's beautiful. I don't see anything wrong with it. I honestly don't. I mean, that's just me. So guys, Mega Husive, just using a big thing to change your name, to put a big label on yourself. Yeah, it's what you believe in, what you may duplicate. Man, exactly. It's not about what I believe in. Okay, cool, diary. I will definitely check it out. Yeah, I'm going to do it. I think for What If Wednesday next week, I think I'm going to do. Okay, I'll definitely scroll. I'll go right to you and look. Or even Monday. What would be better for you guys, Wednesday or Monday, to have a panel and talk about all this? What? Why do you say that, Rainbow? That's so funny. I like your name. I love your name, Rainbow. Yeah, I think it'd be fun to have everybody come up on panel or whatnot. Now that I know how to work Zoom. But if you don't have Zoom, we'll use StreamYards too. Figure it out somehow. We'll have best of both worlds. I could probably even hook up my Skype to do phone calls if nobody wants to do their videos. Exactly. I love that name. You have everything that I love rainbows, I love the supernatural, and I love the paranormal. So, you missed a Zoom meeting? Oh, excuse me. Yeah, just chit-chat about everything, and anything. Chit-chat about what we chit-chat about. Yeah, I think it'd be fun. You missed a Zoom meeting? Who were you Zoom meeting with, Freaky Geek? Like it's our business. Who were you? I remember you doing that. I remember you doing that, Diary. Yep, sure do. Oh, no, 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 Freaky. No, I kind of know how to work it. I didn't say I totally know how. Did I say I totally know how to? I lied if I said I totally know how to work it. I'll figure it out. Yep, I remember that, Diary. Sure enough. Something caused you to stop doing that. But you always use symbols. You might not use those symbols, but you do use symbols. Oh, really, Diary? I can understand that, but I mean, right? Oh, God. All right, Freaky Geek. Hurry back. So I think this is going to be the last one, besides showing you guys the get off their real stream. Or real time, whatever the hell it is. I don't know why I downloaded that. Oh, Eddie's yelling at his game. I hear him. I heard the F word. Chilling last calls and messages from the mysteriously vanished. I love reading about these and I love hearing about them. Well, no, I don't love hearing about them because it's sad, but you know what I'm saying. Among the many mysterious vanishings out there, a few of them have left behind very chilling clues that only serve to make them even more ominous and frightening. On some occasions, these people who have stepped off the face of the earth have reached out one last time to make contact with those they knew and leave chilling messages that possibly hold clues buried within them, but which have never been figured out. Here we will look at some of those cases of the mysteriously vanished who made sinister, mysterious calls and messages right before they stepped off into oblivion, never to be seen again. One fairly known well case that I covered before, but seems worth mentioning here, is the case covered by David Paulides in his Missing 411 series of books and revolves around the strange call made by a 19-year-old college student named Brandon Swanson. I keep hitting the mic, I'm sorry. On the evening of May 14th, 2008, Swanson had been out partying with friends in Minnesota, and on the way home, he managed to crash his car into a ditch. Since he was unable to get the car out himself and had no transportation, he called his parents at around midnight asking for them to come pick him up. The parents went out to get him like he had requested, but found out that his car was not where he said it was, near a small town called Lind. They called Brandon and asked him to explain where he was, but even when they arrived at where he claimed to be, they were unable to locate him. Even after they both unsuccessfully tried flashing their headlights in order to try and hone in on each other's location. After driving around and talking on the phone for around 45 minutes without locating him, Brennan proclaimed that he had just going to head to Lind and crash at a friend's place for the night. They stayed on the phone a bit longer, and Brandon said he could see the lights of the town in the distance, and he also said he could hear running water. Then he suddenly claimed, "Oh shit," and the line went dead. With numerous attempts to call him back remaining unanswered, Brennan Swanson would never be seen again. And that's him. Yeah, I can understand that, Diary. I can understand. So a search was launched involving hundreds of people and trained dogs, which would go on for 4 months, meticulously going around a 100-square-mile area without finding the missing man or even any trace whatsoever where he had gone. Police were able to find the young man's car, but it was nowhere near where he had told his parents it had been. Authorities were also a bit perplexed, as the route Brandon had been traveling was very familiar to him, and he had always taken a specific route to and from school each day. So it was a mystery on how he could have gotten so helplessly lost and how his car had ended up so far off the path. It was determined that there was no evidence at all that he had met with foul play, or that he even had any desire to want to suddenly run away. A lot of theories have been proposed as to what became of Brennan, such as that he fell into the river and was washed away, or they met with some sort of foul play. But one interesting factor to consider is that in the last moments on the phone, that call seems to have ended because the phone was deliberately hung up. There is "oh shit," and then the line is ended with no sounds of struggle being dropped or even rushing river of some sort of incident. It simply just ends. Efforts to call back also reached a seemingly operational phone that was simply not being answered. He may have dropped the phone and dislodged a battery, but it's weird nevertheless. Subsequent searches over the years have also failed to find any clues as to what happened to Brandon Swanson. With all the tips that have come forward, likewise leading nowhere, and has seemingly vanished into thin air, we will perhaps always wonder what provoked the "oh shit" that were perhaps his last words ever. More recently, as the spooky case of 18-year-old Brooklyn Farthing of Madison County, Kentucky, in the United States, on June 21st, 2013. Brooklyn and her sister Paige went to their grandfather's birthday party after having their driving tests, after which they were headed to another party that was supposedly being held in a field, along with their cousin and some friends. Brooklyn had made arrangements to stay at a friend's house after the party, but the friend ended up going off to a boy's house. She continued to party anyway and was last seen leaving the party after midnight with 2 men, one of whom was dropped off and the other one she just went to his house in nearby Berea, just off of US Highway 421. It is unclear whether she knew these men before the party, but her sister Paige would later state that she had known everyone there. What is known is that around 4 a.m., Brooklyn called her cousin to come pick her up from the house. But as the cousin had too much to drink, she couldn't. So Brooklyn then texted her ex-boyfriend and asked him to come get her, which he said he would after he finished work. A little later, he got another text that was alarming that said, "Please hurry, I'm scared." Not Not long after this, there was another text message that reversed this alarm and said, "Never mind, I'm okay. I'm going to a party in Rockcastle County." All texts made to her for more information went unanswered, and that is the last anyone heard from Brooklyn Farthing. When Brooklyn did not show up for her appointment the next day and did not answer any calls or texts, they contacted authorities. Cautiously, the house where she had been was found to be on fire not long after this, and some of Brooklyn's belongings were recovered from the blaze, such as her cowboy boots, purse, and some clothing. But there were no bodies or injuries. The men she had been with, whose identities had been withheld, was questioned, and he told authorities that he had stepped out, leaving Brooklyn alone on the porch smoking a cigarette, and that when he came home at 7 a.m., the living room was on fire. He did mention that indeed Brooklyn had been saying she would go to a party in Rockcastle County, but this didn't turn up any clues, and that party could not even be located. There was no evidence found that the man had anything to do with the disappearance, and that he was not held as a suspect, although the fire, which had started on the couch, was deemed suspicious. Police would launch a massive search for the missing woman, scouring 16,000 acres in 3 Kentucky counties, with dogs, drones, and aircraft, but no sign of her was ever found. What happened to Brooklyn Farthing? What was the meaning of those cryptic last messages? Whatever the case may be, she may never be seen or heard from since, or she has never been seen. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. You're very welcome. And there we go. Okay, are you guys ready for the ghostly figure this lady caught on her cam? Are you ready? Are you ready? Woman captures ghostly figure on CCTV. A CCTV footage recorded on a quiet street shows that a woman has described as an otherworldly figure. Cambridgeshire resident Rachel Jones first spotted something unusual after a strange noise outside on the evening of March 26th prompted her to check over her security footage. What she saw in the recording left her unnerved and perplexed in an equal measure. "I was at home sitting in my bed and I heard a noise outside, so I quickly picked up my phone and turned the camera on and was shocked by what appeared." Sorry, diary. Hey, easily distracted. How you doing? I thought that was part that modem box was part of the freaking thing. "I believe I can see a ghostly figure coming out of the window with a light and then walk slowly down the path and past the car. I was completely astonished when I saw the recording that I picked up was what I saw, and I was in disbelief. I had watched it so many times and I can't come up with any explanation." Good to hear, easily distracted. Good to hear. While there certainly does appear to be something unusual going on in the video, there is a strong possibility that the ghost could simply be a technical glitch. Let's see. What do you guys think? Here we go. Can you see it okay? Let me put it on full screen for you guys. Maybe? Okay. Ready? It's going to come from over here. Okay? Here we go. What do you guys think? Yeah, you see it? Play it again. I want to know what it's carrying in its hand, though. Yeah, it was really blurry. Definitely. But in the beginning, I want to know what it was. I don't think a CCTV camera would move up or glitch that bad. Do you know what I mean? Oh, wow, diary. That's wild. But yeah, I just want to see what I want to know what's in the hand though. Why it's got like a light in its hand in the beginning. See that? Thank you for the like. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. So yeah, I want to know what that light is. Do you see the light back here? What do you guys think that is? Like, is that, I don't think it's like an orb, like it's gonna, I don't know. Like it's carrying a light. Then you can't see it when it's walking this way though. But I don't see a CCTV video screwing up that much. I mean, I know they glitch. You know what I mean? I know they glitch. Hold on, I'm just trying to close my, there we go, tabs. There we go. That could be freaky. That could be a good thing. Yeah. I mean, not a good thing, but you know what I mean. That could be, it definitely could be that. But I don't know. That seemed a little bit bright for a cherry on a cigarette, though. But it could be. I don't know. My head, my right, right. That is true. With that being said, guys, that's the last of the stories for today. I hope you guys enjoyed them. Definitely good conversation. Always awesome conversation. Always, always. I love having you guys in here. I love bouncing ideas off you guys. I love the stuff you guys tell me about, so definitely if you have any, that's okay, easily distracted. That's okay. It happens. I always miss shows that I want to see so bad. Um, yeah, with that being said, play my credits. Yeah, so definitely guys, if you over on DLive, check me out over on DLive because I will be doing pop-up like tarot readings, pop-up like because over there you can listen to music. You know what I mean? And I like listening to music. So always, go over there and pop up and follow me over there. And through the weekend, I might be popping up and doing some stuff. Not sure. Not sure. But anyway, guys, much love. I know, isn't that a cute picture? I love that picture. I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Monday Musings, what are we talking about? We are talking about, I have Ghost Rapture Box written on the calendar. I don't know what the hell that is. See, I do that all the time. I do that all the time. So I'll figure out what that is. And then, like I said, Monday, we might just do a panel and have a paranormal panel and have fun. You know what I'm saying? All right. So until then, guys, Till next time, I love you guys. Thank you so much for the donations. Thank you so much for the likes, the love, the shares. I appreciate you guys so much, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Take care, everyone. Be safe, and I will talk to you soon. Bye, guys. Oh my God, that scared me. Damn it. Who got me? Who got me? Thank you, Unicorn Girl, for the donation of 2 ice creams. Thank you so much. You got me. You're the winner today. You got me. Take care, everybody. Talk to you next time. Love you guys. Bye.